The true mystery of the world is the visible, not the invisible. And there's three things in the world that can't stay hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And the truth is what I'm here to uncover. I want to take a deeper look at a theory baby that Sai and I had after chapter 1063 surrounding the Blackbeard pirates. If you want to see more of our lovemaking, go check out our weekly collabs that we have every chapter after my live reaction and then posted on his channel. Sai and I both came up with a really fun and crazy theory from two different directions, and the more we talked about it, the more realistic and fun it became. Then I talked about it more with Dak Sake, and we turned this theory into a warrior. So heads up, this theory starts out tame, like a tamed horse if you will, but it quickly evolves into a beautiful Pegasus. There's so many hidden meanings I moshed together for this intro, but that's what this channel is all about, making connections. So if you're new to the channel, the way I view the world is by making connections. So let me connect you to my vision, the ParVision. Alright, to retrace the steps of the conception of this theory baby. It was a really late night, and there I was with Sai. I was sick, but Sai was there to take care of me in my time of need, and give me several doses of serotonin in ways you could only find out by watching the full conversation. But where this conversation started was in dissecting Law's predicament with Blackbeard in chapter 1063. Law is the Opi Opi no Mi wielding monster captain in line in bounty with Gear 5 Yonko Luffy, and so normally you would think that there wouldn't be many people who could give a Law a run for his money, but Blackbeard, arguably one of the most threatening Yonkos, showed up to ambush Law. Most people would think Blackbeard alone could defeat Law, even if it was extreme difficulty. But then we start taking into account the context of the situation. Along with Blackbeard, his crewmates that are with him includes Burgess with the strong fruit, Van Augur with the warp fruit, Doc Q with the sick fruit, and Stronger with the mythical Zoan Pegasus fruit. Then we have to add Law's crew, and I don't think it takes a mathematical genius to realize that Law's crew is a negative for Law's side. Most of his crew are essentially walking civilians that masquerade as pirates, and given Law's good nature, he cares very much for them. Demonstrating his self-sacrificial nature for his crew on Wano, Blackbeard could take any one of them as hostage and put Law in a compromised position. And on top of everything, we know that Blackbeard does not care about anime honorable fights. He simply cares about winning. So while I have my various theories about how Law survives this situation, the place I want to focus on is what we learned of while Oda tipped the scales in Blackbeard's favor. The biggest surprise besides each character having the fruits that they had was that Stronger, the horse that Doc Q rides, has a mythical Zoan fruit, which hit both of us in an interesting way. While everyone else's fruits are extremely formidable, we just came off of Wano, where mythical Zoan fruits were showcased and placed on a pedestal, even to the point several people came up with theories that Blackbeard, being the important character that he is, would have a mythical human fruit or mythical Zoan fruit in general. Then we see that the random horse was given arguably one of the rarest and most important fruits, which might have given us the answer to something that the community has questioned for so long, which is who is Blackbeard's 10th Titanic captain? I mean, many think Aokiji is there, whereas I think Aokiji would be more like an alliance or partnership rather than an underling. Others have said Jin, Caribou, even Don Krieg, Law, Kid, and so many others. But I think especially now, given that the horse, Stronger, has a mythical Zoan, that creates the stronger possibility that Stronger is the 10th Titanic captain of the crew. So you're probably like, a horse? A horse is a Titanic captain? That's One Piece madness. But hear me out. Who says this has to be a horse? We actually don't have any confirmation what Stronger is. I mean, this is One Piece, where we found out a giant monk is a fox. Why couldn't we have that in reverse? With Burgess, we know that he had to have gotten his fruit after Dressrosa, as he was shown swimming after the Colosseum got shattered by Sabo, just like his face. But Stronger, I don't believe we were ever given an example of him in the water. So when we are first introduced to Doc Q and Stronger, we just get the notion that they are sickly. We learn from Doc Q's Vivre card that Doc Q was born sickly, and we are unsure of Stronger's ailment, but I'll talk about that later. But so even in the introduction, this could easily be a person who had eaten the Pegasus mythical Zoan, because as we know, especially with Devil Fruit proficiency, Zoans can go to various hybrid forms, and in this case, it would be a human turning into a partial Pegasus without wings to mask their true form. Now, this sounds crazy, but it's not without precedence. I mean, Big News Morgans is apparently a user of the Tori Tori no Mi model Albatross. We have never seen any other form of Big News Morgans, but I'd imagine he is constantly in a hybrid form because he has hands, and birds don't really have hands. But we saw Big News Morgans throw hands in Box Cypher Poll. Then there's another popular candidate, shoutouts to It's DZL on TikTok, who told me a while ago that he thinks Hattori is an actual Cypher Poll agent, and it got even more support when Robin said mass CP0 agents are in a league of their own. But then Hattori showed up with a mini mask, supporting the idea that he might be a person. So now that we've talked about not just the possibility that Stronger is not a horse, but also there's precedence for there to be characters masquerading as Zoan fruit holders other than Stronger by staying in their animal forms, and reiterating that Stronger having a mythical Zoan on top of that makes them a healthy candidate for the 10th Titanic captain, because why give a rare fruit, such a rare fruit, to a non-factor character? I think another notable thing is that Stronger's name. And even in the chapter, when you look at it, Stronger's introduction is the most impactful. Stronger has the largest text on the page, and it's on the last page of the chapter shared with Blackbeard. It's super interesting when you look at it like that. Another interesting note here is that Doc Q can communicate to Stronger. I wonder if it's just camaraderie or if there's something deeper. And with that, I think Sai's favorite aspect of this theory is that it'll hopefully encourage you to like and share this video and enjoy this idea enough to subscribe. But real talk, Sai's favorite part of the theory is Stronger's name. See, the idea that I proposed was that Stronger could be masquerading as a low-ranking member, when in reality they are the true mastermind. A quick Naruto reference that makes this make sense would be that Blackbeard would be Pain and Stronger would be Toby. For those that don't know that reference, basically what I'm saying is that Stronger would be on the nose name referring to his actual strength, being stronger than everyone else in the crew, and possibly even also as an important member of the crew. And that's when we dive into some madness. I mean, it wouldn't be me if I didn't instantly think like this, right? But so when we were in the conversation of it, I was like, okay, well, who could possibly be the person behind the Pegasus fruit that would make sense for it to be so impactful to the crew dynamic that they'd have to hide their identity? Possibly being stronger than Blackbeard himself. And that would be the character many of us have theorized to be somehow attached to Blackbeard. And I think this is arguably the funniest version of that theory. But yes, you probably catch my drift at this point. The character I'm talking about that makes the most sense for it to be Stronger, if it were a human masquerading as a sick horse, would be Rox D. Xebec. If you think about it, this could explain a lot of Blackbeard's knowledge. If Rox was this accessible, then this could serve as another way that Blackbeard could have known everything about Devil Fruit so far. Like, one of the funnier contributions is, if you remember when they stole Whitebeard's fruit, Stronger also helped veal Whitebeard, which just seems funny in hindsight, and I just want to mention that. But then, as we know with Zoan Devil Fruits, the hair is one of those things that gets transferred over usually. So then when I was like, wait a second, if you look at Rox, we only get a silhouette, and we don't know the hair color, but regardless, Rox should be old now. So what's even more hilarious is that Stronger's hair would kind of match up. Oda gave Stronger bangs to cover the eyes, but imagine that's how the reveal will be. You lift up the hair and you get a widow's peak and Conqueror's-like eyes. While I'm sort of joking, I kind of do see the hair resemblance here, and now I can't unsee it. This feels like one of those fever dream theories, but we're not even at the upper limits of it yet. The fact that the hair could actually line up is one of the funnier coincidences. There was a lot of people in the various streams I had since talking about this that brought up a point that rocks could have been Lunarian, which is why Stronger has this silver, gray, whitish hair. But then again, if that were the case, then Stronger would have black wings in this panel. But maybe there's a way around that. But I think rocks having the Pegasus fruit would be such an interesting twist because the Pegasus is so close to the gods in the first place. And I'd imagine in hybrid forms, rocks could just appear with just wings without a full horse form. But now let's take this theory to the next level. Keep in mind, this theory could be true in varying capacities. But with this next part, I want to thank Dax Sake for coming onto my stream and sharing such a memorable 5-hour stream with me where he and I took this theory to the Super Saiyan 3 levels. So when I told Dax the theory baby, his thought was that it could be even crazier than that. But even with the craziness, it can still make a lot of sense. So trust me, let this one digest a little. And if you're enjoying this theory, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But anyways, he was saying that it might be that Stronger is rocks, but like literally rocks. Like the original rocks was turned to a statue, which is why Blackbeard potentially wanted Boa's fruit. Wait, what? The original rocks turned into a statue, but is still Stronger? How? Well, it would just be that the rock statue ate the mythical Zoan model Pegasus fruit. So technically, it's an object that ate the devil fruit, which could explain the stone coloration that Stronger has. And you're probably like, nah, but give me a second. See, I have my own various rocks theories. I think looking back on my channel, maybe I have nearly 3 or 4 different rocks theories, and some can connect and some can contradict. But I've liked the statue rocks idea when people started bringing it up with chapter 1059. But there's 2 reasons why in this context it feels stronger. So the weaker one first. I've always talked about how rocks might still be alive due to the wording Big Mom had in chapter 999. He said, on the day rocks fell into ruin at God Valley. It's such an interesting wording because if you ask me about something falling into ruin, I think about something old falling apart. So saying rocks fell into ruin that day might actually line up with him turning into a statue and that statue breaking. Then maybe part of the statue was preserved and eventually ate the Pegasus fruit. So keep in mind, this is just another possibility that doesn't take away from the rest of the other options we talked about earlier. But the reason why I like the statue idea even more than anything else is because it actually explains why Stronger is chronically sick, besides the possibility that Doc Q is poisoning the horse, or the horse is also permanently sick just like Doc Q. Both are definitely options, but something I realize is that we actually have a precedence in One Piece of an inanimate object eating a devil fruit besides Funkfried. And it's similar to Stronger in that Last Sue was chronically sick for some reason. It could be a side effect of this kind of creation. Unlike Funkfried, who had their own problems, we actually don't know where Last Sue was sourced from. In Funkfried's case, we can say it's probably Vegapunk related. But why would a Baroque's work agent, Mr. 4, have any kind of assistance from Vegapunk? So it might be that there are multiple ways to get an inanimate object to eat a devil fruit, and that side effect gives the same running nose and tongue drooping sick look that Stronger has. That is why I like this theory even more. And I won't kid myself. Given the timeline of this video, I didn't have time to fully research the Greek mythology behind the Pegasus, but while I was streaming, many people brought up the connections. Apparently Perseus essentially created a Pegasus after slaying Medusa by beheading her from the neck. So like out of her neck came a Pegasus. So that kind of fits some aspect of the Boa situation. I guess Boa's neck game is really strong. You could say it's stronger than most. But anyways, I'm sure all of you brainiacs can find all the crazy cool connections there might be within the historical real world mythology that connects to this theory. I'll be interested to read those comments for sure. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it out to as many people as you can, and subscribe to the channel. It would really mean a lot. This stronger is rocks theory is becoming one of my favorite ones over time just because of how goofy fun this one sounds. It feels like an Oda way to use a common anime trope and make it hilarious. At the same time, it's not so goofy it doesn't make sense, and is still definitely possible. I think if rocks was turned into a statue, for example, then ate the fruit, that could be the restraint that remains on stronger or rocks until the end of the series when a major plot twist like this would be revealed. If there wasn't a limiter on rocks like that, then rocks could essentially show up at any point, which would still be cool, but you would wonder why at this point in the game, if it were rocks underneath that horse mask, why would they still be in hiding? What are they waiting for? But with that being said, I know what you're waiting for. You guys want more videos. I am looking to ramp things up very soon. So subscribe and find out what else I got cooking. And if you want to support me in other ways, definitely check my links in the description box below. And so, like always, thank you for connecting with me, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you all on the next ParVision.